my dad, Miss Renee, and then my mom. And here's what I'm wearing, business casual. Once more. There's my shoes. Okay. You're in the middle of a field that has many different grasses and wildflowers sprinkled through it. The French breeze swims through the grasses and caresses the edge of your dress. The sky looks as if God's favored this one more than any of the others before it. The clouds stand out among the blue, and the sun shimmers down with eager kisses. However, they're blocked by a parasol. You hear a little boy laughing close by, and you soak up the glory of this day. All of a sudden, someone bumps into you and mumbles, "Sorry?" You're not in a field. You're not even in France. You're in an exhibit viewing one of Monet's most famous works, Women with a Parasol. I had the privilege of first seeing this at the Museum of Fine Arts Houston in 2011. It's truly a timeless painting. I'm here today not only to inform you about this wonderful piece of art, but to convince you that it's one of the greatest artworks of its time and even still today. Some general facts about this painting before we dive into why it's so special. It was painted by Claude Monet in 1875. The two subjects in the painting are his wife and son. The field that we find as the setting is one of Monet's home places. It's in the outside suburbs of Paris. The actual painting, physically, is oil on canvas, and the size is about 40 by 32 inches. So it's a pretty substantial piece of artwork. It's definitely going to fill up a room. Going into what's so special about this painting is the composition and how unconventional it was for its time. According to the National Gallery of Art website, Monet said that he wanted to convey the feeling of a casual family outing rather than a portrait. Portraits back in the late 1800s, they were pretty formal events. You went in, you sat down, you didn't move. You more than likely even came back for multiple days to get the piece of artwork done. However, with Monet's, it was done not only in the middle of a field, but it was done in one sitting. That was quite the feat back then. According to the Impressionist and Post-Impressionist masterpieces from the National Gallery of Art, Monet took a bold and rapid approach to his piece of art. It was executed spontaneously, and his brushstrokes were also very spontaneous and very short, which gives it a very unique and special look when compared to art from that time. Woman with a Parasol was first exhibited in 1876 at a show called La Promenade. However, it wasn't received very well by critics. They saw it as a very sloppy and messy painting that the artist didn't care enough to give it a finished look. There was one critic, however, named Georges Riviera that took a certain liking to it. A quote from the Impressionist and Post-Impressionist masterpieces from the National Gallery of Art has a quote from him saying that this painting creates an effect that's both singular and extremely accurate. I believe what he's saying is that it's such a simple concept, but it is so beautifully done in this piece of art that it's just amazing and evokes such emotion. What's truly special about this piece of artwork is that it was one of the beginning Impressionist pieces whenever this was just starting to come about in the late 1800s. Monet was in fact an advocate for Impressionist work, but this is a really unique piece because it was whenever the movement started coming along. However, this piece is special to me. Whenever I first saw it at the Museum of Fine Arts Houston in 2011, something about it just made me feel like I was there with that mother and child, that I was in the middle of a field in France, and it was just me. It was an amazing feeling, and I loved how he saw something so simple and turned it into something even more beautiful than we would ever think it is. I hope that if you ever find yourself in front of a piece of art, that you immerse yourself in its world fully. Today, I hope you felt the French sun beating down on you, the wind rustling through the grass, and you've heard the laughter of Monet's son. Woman with a Parasol has touched me, and I think it's touched some of you as well today. The subject of this painting is a reminder that such beautiful and simple things are still art and what makes life special. This is truly a timeless piece, and it's great art for its time and still is today.